This is your neighborhood-friendly ranter speaking. And, as you can tell by the expression on my face, I just finished watching the last episode of Season 6 of Dexter. And, oh man, I don't even know how to start with this one. This season, from beginning to end, is one of the best seasons you will ever see of this show. And I can honestly say that this season is by far one of the best seasons as far as action, as far as character development. This is one of the seasons that really embodies why this is such a great show. This is kind of reminiscent of Season 1 in that there's just so much that goes on in this season. This season does not disappoint. And honestly, after Season 5, I didn't think there was many places they could go with the show. I thought that pretty much they could not top Season 4 when they did Season 5. So when they did Season 5, it was alright, but it wasn't that great. But this season actually surprises me the most because it just came out of nowhere. This season takes a closer look at Dexter and his spirituality. The show has always had that sort of balance between spirituality and sort of darkness. So I like the fact that this season kind of takes all of that and puts it into a blender and says, here you go, here's the best of it. But this season deals with Dexter's spirituality and the Doomsday Killer, who is basically going around and trying to reenact scenes from Revelation to bring about the end of the world. And it's kind of chronicling Dexter as he searches for a spiritual side, as he searches for answers to his dark passenger. And this season sees the return of sort of good and evil. Harry being the representation of good, and the ice truck killer, Brian Moser, being the representation of bad. And you've got a few parts in the season where Brian Moser comes back and sort of taunts Dexter and sort of, kind of tries to play with that whole light and dark thing. As far as the big reveal at the end, the big reveal being that that not all is what it appears, that some of it is in the Doomsday Killer's head. A lot of people were complaining about that because they think that it was a little too obvious, that it was a little too sort of cliched, and to a certain extent I kind of agree with that, but I'm able to suspend my disbelief enough to say that it was a decent twist, the way that they handled it. The biggest twist was at the end. Now, a couple weeks ago, I got online and sort of did some research about Dexter, and they're going to be renewing it for 2 more seasons. So, if you get the chance to see this season online or whatever, if you get the chance to see this season, keep in mind that the show's not over yet. So, this does kind of ruin the surprise a little bit, but not all that much. The last episode of this season really will shock you. Absolutely. It's probably one of the most intense episodes I've ever seen of Dexter, period. But this season has kind of had those really intense moments. And this is probably by far one of the more gory seasons of Dexter that you'll see. And from what I'm understanding, these next two seasons, season 7 and season 8, are going to be the last 2 seasons of Dexter, which I think is a good idea because the show is kind of wearing out its welcome. And what I mean by that is it's getting to a point where some of the character development is getting kind of muddled. Dexter has kind of evolved as far as he can evolve at this point, and it's all kind of just getting a little tired. So I think it's good for them to end in the series in the next 2 seasons. I think that's a really good idea, as a matter of fact, so that the show doesn't sort of end up like something like that 70s show where it goes on for a little bit longer than it should have. Seasons 1, 4, and 6. These are the seasons that really make the show absolutely one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's taken everything inside me not to just yell it out, not to just scream it from the highest rooftops what the ending shock was. But just know that it's really, really good. It is really amazing. And you will be floored. This last episode, you will be absolutely floored the whole time. So, get online, watch it illegally, or find it on Hulu. Do whatever you have to do to watch this season, because it is absolutely amazing.